1400 WJZM radio, 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville. We'll take an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in national news.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
This news flash brought to you by Heritage Bank. We are open for business. Your business. Bankwithheritage.com.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington.
Tonight we celebrate South Korea's success and we affirm our close and abiding bonds of friendship.
President Trump delivering a toast at a state dinner in South Korea a short time ago, describing that country as a loyal ally. Earlier, Mr. Trump joined his South Korean counterpart, calling on North Korea to return to the bargaining table for talks aimed at resolving the nuclear standoff.
I do see certain movement, yes, but let's see what happens.
Also at srnnews.com, extreme vetting for gun buyers in the U.S. President Trump says that could have made the Texas church massacre even worse by depriving a local resident of the gun that he used to shoot the attacker and end the carnage.
I can only say this. If he didn't have a gun, instead of having 26 dead, he would have had hundreds more dead. So that's the way I feel about it.
And it turns out the Texas gunman was able to buy weapons because of an Air Force mistake.
Devin Patrick Kelly was in the Air Force when he was convicted of domestic violence, but the Air Force did not submit his criminal history to the FBI, as military rules require. If it had, Kelly would not have been able to buy weapons. The Air Force is now reviewing its handling of the case, and the Pentagon's going to make sure other such cases were processed correctly.
That's Washington correspondent Sagar Magani. In Virginia and in New Jersey, it's Election Day. Voters choosing governors. If you can believe the polls, Democrats have the upper hand in New Jersey, while most pollsters consider that Virginia race too close to call. The Lions beat the Packers 30-17 last night in Green Bay. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures are up 23 points. NASDAQ futures down 2 1/4. This is SRN News. The nonprofit relief organization Cross Catholic Outreach wrapping up its annual Box of Joy program, which sends shoe boxes filled with gifts, toothbrushes, and other supplies to poor children for Christmas. Jim Kavner, president of Cross Catholic Outreach, says anyone of any faith who wants to help should visit the website boxofjoy.org.
Then they can look and see where's the nearest drop-off center. We'd like to have all the boxes dropped off by Sunday, November 12th, the date when we want people to drop them off. The drop-off center, they can look online and find out where they are all over the country. If they're too far away but they still want to do it, they can always ship them directly to us, and there's an address there.
Donations will primarily be gathered at Catholic churches this coming weekend, and will then be shrink-wrapped and packed for shipping to Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and other poor nations, providing the first Christmas gifts that many children in those countries will get. This is SRN News. Illness and injury, they're impacting the business of the Republican-led Senate.
Republicans hold a slim 52-vote majority in the Senate, so every vote was needed to advance the nomination of Stephen Engel to be Assistant Attorney General. On Monday, Republicans were down 2 votes. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky was unable to travel back to Washington because of injuries after a scuffle with a neighbor, a scuffle that left him with 5 broken ribs. And Senator Thad Cochran of Mississippi was out due to a recurrent urinary tract infection that prevented him from coming back to the nation's capital. A spokesman for Senator Cochran says the senator will be at work later this week, but Senator Paul's ETA remains uncertain. Linda Kenyon, Washington.
There's a new home security camera hitting the market. It's supposed to be so smart it can identify people it's been introduced to. That skill comes from facial recognition technology by Google. The Nest Cam IQ camera is so slick it also carries a premium price, $300. More details at srnnews.com.
Commercial loans, Heritage Bank. Those are the only 4 words you need to know to make your commercial project a reality. Whether it's a new building for your business or a new business altogether, the commercial lenders at Heritage Bank can make things happen so you can make your business a success. Call or stop by your local Heritage Bank office today. At Heritage Bank, we're open for business. Your business.
NMLS number 431499. Subject to credit approval. Member
FDIC equal housing lender. Bankwithheritage.com.
The big 1400 WJZM radio, Clarksville area weather, probably some fog this morning. That should clear off. We might even have a pop-up shower. Otherwise, expect a high today of 58. Overnight low of 44. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, cooler, 54 for an expected high. Tomorrow night, 36 for an overnight low. And Thursday, we expect a high around 60 degrees. Currently, we're at 52 degrees at 7:04 in downtown Clarksville. With a look at traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Well, all the places this morning around town are your usual suspects. It is slow. 41A Fort Campbell, especially out on the north side. Trenton Road, Tiny Town Road, and Tylertown Road, all very busy, especially out by the interstate. 48 and 13, if you're coming into the city from the county, very busy, especially out by Montgomery Central. 41A Sango, busy as well. And also looks like Rossview Road, very busy, especially out by the interstate. And 79 out in St. Bethlehem is busy as well, especially on the other side of the interstate. Now, if you are headed to Nashville this morning, 24 does look fairly good all the way into Davidson County. Let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what's going on with the Nashville area traffic.
Well, good morning. We're still looking live at this crash here on 40 eastbound at 46th Avenue here at Whitebridge Pike, really adding to the delay. Other wrecks out here include Cane Ridge at Chimney Top Drive, 65 southbound before you get to Briley. That one involving some injuries. Peabody Street there at Hermitage, really heavy and slow out here on a lot of the main and secondary routes with a lot of flooding as well. Don't miss the Bill Goodman's Gun and Knife Show. It's coming up this weekend at the Wilson County Expo Center, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
That's been a look at your traffic and weather together and the latest national news, all brought to you this morning by Heritage Bank. It is 7:06 as we move along on a Tuesday morning, and that means it's time now for the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville. Good morning, Chuck Edwards.
Good morning, John Michaels. I was just wondering, what's the difference between the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville and the Monday edition of Good Morning Clarksville?
Well, Monday sucks because we just came back from the weekend. Tuesday, we're getting a little closer to the coming weekend. That's why it's a whole lot better. Oh, did I just say that?
See, that is John Michael logic.
That unfiltered this
Go
morning.
to your dictionary. Go to your dictionary and look up the definition of pretzel logic. And there's a picture there of a young man. That's John Michaels. That's John Michaels.
Yeah, but I'm not a young man anymore.
Well, but the picture was taken when you were younger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it's still you know, and the pretzel logic is still there.
Even though Steely Dan stole
But you know what? I can't imagine any other place I'd rather be on a Tuesday morning than spending the next 2 hours with you.
Oh, boy.
Good morning, Clarksville. 1400 WJZM Radio. Chuck and John for the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville. Sports Now update coming your way at 7:20 this morning. Brought to you by Mr. Appliance on the Big 1400. Musically, some Robert Knight, Dennis Coffey, and Dobie Gray on the way this hour. But now it's time for birthdays.
Oh,
yes.
It is?
Time for birthdays.
All right, let's get with it.
Adam Devine is 34. He's the guy, he was on Workaholics, Modern Family, and Pitch Perfect movies.
Never saw him.
Yeah, Christopher Knight is 60. He was Peter on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, now here's some. King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
Who was King Kong Bundy? Tell everybody who King Kong Bundy is.
He was a wrestler.
He's a 500-pound wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's most famous for going with Hulk Hogan in a steel cage match in WrestleMania 2.
Yes.
What are we up to now? WrestleMania 937?
Close.
Yeah. Anyway, how do you think he is?
I'm going to say he is, let's see, that's 4. I'm going to say he's 68.
No, he's 60.
Oh.
Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell, a genius. I mean, oh, man, she's written so many great songs. How old do you think she is?
Joni Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
60s. I'm going to say she's 78.
74.
Oh.
Yep. Johnny
Never
Rivers.
close. He's 92.
No.
And he's 4 foot high. 92 and 4 foot 11.
He's still 4 foot high, but he's 75.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Billy Graham is 99. We've got 4 days until Veterans Day, 9 days until America quits smoking, 16 days till Turkey Day. Yes, yes. Do you do anything special on Turkey? Do you cook a different meal, or you go over to your parents?
It just depends.
Yeah.
Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Oh, I see.
Usually I have turkey somewhere.
Somewhere. Well,
then I have tryptophan overdose and pass out and sleep for the afternoon.
Sleep.
And wake up and the Cowboys are winning.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, and go on, yeah. Tradition.
The Lions are losing.
We got 38 days until Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
How many days until daylight savings time? Why don't you start telling that?
No, it won't be daylight savings time. What is
it will
in
next
the spring?
year.
In the spring.
It'll be daylight savings time.
In the spring?
Yeah.
Okay. And that will be spring ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you should start putting that out so I'll feel better. 9,842 days until daylight savings time.
Well, let me go get my phone so I can ask Surrey how many days until daylight savings time.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
The Big 1400.
We'll ask her on the air.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
And find out.
Mine.
Exactly.
Mine's got the English accent. I like
Oh, yeah, you like that. Hello, John. The Big 1400. We roll along. These are the association.
Every time I think that I'm the only one who's lonely, someone calls on me. And every now and then I spend my time at climbing for some Christos falls silly. And then along comes Mary. And does she want to give me kicks? And he wants to say chicken, give me pickles memory. Oh, baby, rather got no tales from all the fields and places no one ever sees.
1400 WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather. We might get a chance to dry out after this fog lifts this morning. We expect a high today of around 58 degrees. Tonight, 44 for an overnight low. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville.
How could this be? You're not here with me. You never said goodbye. Someone tell me why. Did you have to go and leave my world so cold? Every day I sit and ask myself, how did I slip away? Something whispers in my ear and says that you're not alone. I am here with you, though you're far away. I am here to stay. You're not alone. I am here with you, though we're far apart. You're always in my heart, but you're not alone. Lord, why, Lord? Just the other night, I thought I heard you cry, asking me to come and hold you in my arms. I can hear your prayers, your burdens I will bear. But first I need your hand, then forever can begin. Every day I sit and ask myself, how did I slip away? Something whispers in my ear and says that you're not alone. I am here with you, though we're far away. I am here to stay, but you're not alone. I am here with you, though we're far apart. You're always in my heart, for you're not alone. Oh, whisper 3 words and I'll come running. And girl, you know that I'll be there. I'll be there. You are not alone. I am here with you, though you're far away. I am here to stay. You are not alone. I am here with you, though we're far apart. You're always in my heart. You are not alone. You are not alone. I am here with you. I'm here with you, though you're far away. I am here to stay. For you are not alone.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville, headed for a high of 58. Back in the day, 73 years ago in 1944, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt won an unprecedented 4th term in office. He defeated Thomas E. Dewey. After him, of course, they set up the 2-term limit for president.
After that?
Yeah, after him. 52 years ago, 1965.
Ooh, I remember.
The debut of the Pillsbury Doughboy. That's right. 44 years ago, 1973, for some reason, New Jersey became the first state to let girls play Little League Baseball. And 26 years ago, 1991, genius Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, pleaded no contest of charges to very indecent exposure.
Ooh.
Yeah. And 28 years ago, Magic Johnson announced that he had tested positive for HIV and that he was retiring from basketball. 54 years ago, 1963, Elston Howard. I remember watching him play for the Yankees. He became the first African-American MVP in the American League. And I remember watching Elston Howard, the old Yankees, Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that was great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it was. Time now for a Sports Now update with Justin Swallow. Yeah, I'm sorry?
You led right into the sports with a sports story. How ingenious.
Man, oh, man. Is he on it or something today?
You are.
That's right. Time now for a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Mr. Appliance on the Big 1400.
This Sports Now update is presented by Mr. Appliance. Get it fixed fast with a quick call to Mr. Appliance at 931-503-7070.
Former University of Tennessee tailback Alvin Kamara is off to a red-hot start in his professional career. Kamara, who mostly played a relief role at UT through only 8 games in the NFL, is having one of the best rookie seasons in New Orleans Saints history. With 89 total touches and 652 all-purpose yards, he is, at this point in his career, having the third best inaugural campaign in franchise history, behind only George Rogers, who had 933 all-purpose yards at this point in 1981, and Ricky Williams, who had amassed 675 yards at this point back in 1999. Now over to Austin Peay State University, where their women's volleyball team captured an Ohio Valley Conference regular season title last week and currently boasts an incredible 26-4 overall record. Today, Govs Volleyball has extra reason to celebrate after finding out last night they have landed 3 players on the league's weekly list of top performers. Senior Ashley Slay is the reigning OVC Offensive Player of the Week after recording 35 kills throughout her last 3 outings. Junior Kristen Stucker is, for the 9th time in 11 weeks, the OVC's top setter, racking up 110 total assists. And for the 2nd time this season, freshman Brooke Moore was honored as the league's Newcomer of the Week after posting 12 kills through the Governor's last 3 victories. Lastly, today we take you to Knoxville, where the University of Tennessee Lady Vols basketball squad will open up their season in exhibition play tonight against Carson Newman. As they do so, they'll do it with a new Lady Vol legend on the bench. Bridget Gordon played on Pat Summitt's first 2 national title teams in 1997 and 1989, and she has now returned as the Lady Vols' newest assistant coach. From the WJZM Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
Don't despair over that busted stove, broken dishwasher, or out-of-order dryer. Just pick up the phone and call Mr. Appliance. He offers flat-rate pricing, meaning there aren't any hidden fees, and he promises an always quick response with same or next-day appointments. Mr. Appliance also gives you a complimentary 1-year parts and labor warranty on every household repair. You can book an appointment anytime by calling 931-503-7070 or by going online to MrAppliance.com/Clarksville.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, where we've got a Sports Now update coming to you next hour, 8:20. Brought to you by Fox's Barbecue on the Big 1400.
Hearts go astray, leaving hurt when they go. I went away just when you needed me so. Filled with regret, I come back begging you. Forgive, forget. Well,
1400 WJZM Radio, where we've got Vol Network Notebook coming your way at 7:50 this morning. Bob Kessling has the call. Oh, well, I should say Bob Kessling. Bob. Brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400. Someone asked 1,500 people about things that a lot of us do, but we never talk about. Some are boring, some are everyday things. Some are kind of gross, and some are just weird. So here are the 6 questions and how many people have done them. When you sit down in front of the TV, do you ever delay eating until you found something good to watch? Come on, John. Come on. Before you burst open that bag of Fritos and douse it with hot sauce, do you find that wrestling channel before you dig in?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. And Roxy has to have her treat first, too.
Yeah.
She goes before I do.
82% of the people said yes, they do.
All right.
All right. So you're in the majority.
Pass.
When you use the bathroom, do you ever check behind the shower curtain to make sure that no one's spying on you?
No.
37% of the people say they've done it.
Morris said no, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm 2 for 2 on that one. 2.
I don't know if I should even answer this. Do you ever smell your dirty underwear to see if you can wear it again?
No. Negative.
Listen, 38% of the people said yes.
There's something wrong with them.
And 12 people say they've turned their dirty underwear inside out and wore it again.
What happened to Go Commando?
What happened to a shower? What happened to Tide? You know, what happened to hand washing? And have you ever showered, ever not showered for several days just to see how bad you could possibly smell?
Negative.
5% say yeah, they have, but apparently we don't embrace, our stink like 15% of Europeans say they've done it compared to 5% of Americans. Just some weird stuff, that...
And I passed all of it, didn't I?
Yeah, you done good, John.
Yeah,
you done good.
I'm weird American.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're in the groove.
Oh, okay.
The Big 1400 with James Brown. The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather, areas of fog this morning. That should burn off, and we should have a partly cloudy day, 58 for an expected high, 44 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. It's going to be cooler. I expect a high of around 54. Well, you might even still see a stray shower this evening. This afternoon. Nashville really got some. You see the flooding that was going on?
I know. I believe Wheelan said they had almost 3 inches overnight.
Some areas over 3.
Yeah.
It was.
That's
right now we're at 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Good morning. It is the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville with Chuck and John. I was reading where Disney may buy the entertainment side of 20th Century Fox. Now, they are... Did they buy ESPN, or I think I asked you?
Yeah, they did.
They bought ESPN.
Yeah, they own a lot.
Okay, but anyway...
I hope they don't.
Well, they're considering buying the entertainment side. Now, the entertainment side of 21st Century Fox, Disney will pass on including Fox News because they have Tucker Carlson, and they don't need another goofy.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
Yeah, well, I just read what they send us.
Oh, okay.
I just read what they send us.
Oh, it's not your personal op-ed here?
I don't.
You know who Tucker Carlson is?
No, I'm just reading what they send us.
don't?
I'm just reading what they send us.
You've never watched
reading what they send us.
Oh.
You know. But anyway, you know.
Pretty good. You should watch him.
I said, he is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The Big 1400. We need to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
There's finally a stress-free, no-risk way to buy a new mattress thanks to Beds Express. With their Triple Z guarantee, there's literally no way you can go wrong. Don't waste another night tossing and turning on your old, worn-out bed. Dive into affordable comfort at Beds Express in Clarksville at 1767 Wilma Rudolph Boulevard, Bellevue at 7643 Highway 70 South, and in Murfreesboro at 2222 Medical Center Parkway. Beds Express, Middle Tennessee's better sleep solution.
With the Christ Center curriculum and a high expectation for academic mastery, Power and Grace Preparatory Academy has set the gold standard for elementary learning. Certified by the Tennessee Department of Education, they've extended their offerings to include music, art, and Spanish. Additionally, students will be participating in STEAM Fridays, emphasizing science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Before and after care is available, spanning from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and enrollment is open for children in pre-K through the 3rd grade. For more info, visit powerandgraceacademy.com or call 931-320-9862.
Want to see your closet floor and find that outfit you hadn't worn in a while? Call Closet Design Specialist 931-920-2222. Make your life easier getting ready in the mornings. Free in-home estimate, free installation, pricing for everyone's budget. See your design with a 3D tour. We also do shower doors, framed mirrors, doors, and blinds. Locally owned with over 30 years in the business. Call Closet Design Specialist 931-920-2222. That's 931-920-2222 or cdsclarksville.com.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of your house leaking energy. And every month it's costing you more and more money on your utility bill. But with the Energy Right Do-It-Yourself Home Energy Audit from TVA and Cumberland Electric, you can find those silent leaks. And when you do, we'll send you a free conservation kit so you can fix the leaks and save. So visit EnergyRight.com and take your online energy audit today or call toll-free 1-800-987-CEMC to request a paper copy.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
Why settle for less when you can get more at Wyatt Johnson in Clarksville, your winning team in Kentucky and Tennessee. Score and win with Wyatt Johnson GMC Buick, Toyota, Hyundai, Mazda, and Subaru, as well as 3 pre-owned superstores for more selection in minutes versus days, shopping place to place. We are the region's largest GMC Buick dealer, the area's newest Toyota dealer, and home of the Hyundai, Mazda, and Subaru giant. You always get more at your winning team in Kentucky and Tennessee. The Wyatt Johnson Automotive family in Clarksville.
Was your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't been able to accomplish this? Then come to the Doctor's Diet Program at 231 Dover Road. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Doctor's supervised weight loss can be achieved by following the simple diet plan. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, the Doctor's Diet Program can help. Call them today at 931-906-5555. That's 931-906-5555.
We've got you covered every step of the way. That's what they do at Clarksville Floor Covering. Carpet, hardwood, tile, laminate, vinyl, and area rugs are what they specialize in. Visit Clarksville Floor Covering and let their on-staff interior designer put it all together to give you the look you want. Locally owned and operated since 1961, Clarksville Floor Covering is conveniently located at 606 North Spring Street, behind Sonic off Riverside Drive. Visit their website at clarksvillefloor-covering.com and be sure to check them out on Facebook.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio. Don't forget, today is Tuesday, so that means it is...
What does that mean?
Tuesday with the mayor. We got company coming. We got company coming. Mayor Kim McMillan will join us during the 8 o'clock hour when we talk about all things city of Clarksville right here on the Big 1400.
That'll be good. I can't wait.
Yeah. Mayor McMillan coming. Yes.
Think she'll bring Richard?
He'll be close behind.
Okay, good.
Yeah. The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, where we've got Lady Vols basketball on the radio tonight. The Lady Vols will take on Carson Newman, airtime at 5:30. Tip-off will be at 6 p.m. University of Tennessee women's basketball. They're called the Lady Vols. They'll be right here on the Big 1400. 1400 WJZM Radio, 52 degrees. We expect a high today of around 58. Maybe a shower in some spots this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy. 44 for an overnight low. Right now, we're at 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Well, do you want more proof that no food or drink is immune from being hijacked by all of these trendy holiday flavors? You know, we thought that, hey, we get through pumpkin spice latte and we get through cinnamon spice, all this for Halloween, and we'd be done. We thought we would be done.
Should I answer this?
I don't know. You think it's the principal?
It could be. Let me.
Okay.
No, they quit.
Oh, they quit. Okay.
Chicken.
No. Yeah, you thought maybe that you would be past that. Apparently, salted caramel Pepsi is now on sale in stores around the country as a new limited holiday flavor.
What do you want? Something you want to chew on?
Salted caramel Pepsi. Now, according to the people who've tried it, it tastes like normal Pepsi as you drink it, but it does have a sweet aftertaste, almost like butterscotch.
Almost?
I don't want my Pepsi to have an aftertaste like butterscotch.
You don't?
No, I don't. If I want something to have, you know, it tastes like butterscotch, I would go get one of those Worthings. You know, the candy drops, the butterscotch candy drops. That's what I would do.
That's what you would do?
You know, if that's not enough liquid sugar for you, there's also a new Mountain Dew flavor. It's out for the season. It's called Holiday Brew. It's a mix of regular Mountain Dew and Code Red.
Code Red?
Yeah. I like Code Red. I'm not a Mountain Dew fan, but I would probably try that quicker than I would try the salted caramel Pepsi. To make sure.
I don't want that.
The salted caramel Pepsi?
No.
Okay. So I'll just take those back. But I got you a 6-pack to go with your Fritos.
You did? No. Can I just give me a Daddy's soda instead of that.
Daddy's soda. Yeah. That's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I just let it go. I'll just let it go. Yeah. You can just go ahead and, you know, get your Fritos and your hot sauce and get Roxy her treat and your daddy's soda.
My daddy's soda?
And just continue to linger in the life of luxury.
Okay.
Until you find something on TV that you like.
If you say so.
Yeah. It's just that's all you have to do. Okay. You know, and you find something that you like.
All right. Can you tell we're killing time?
No. We're stretching. We're stretching. The Big 1400, WJZM Radio with Dobie Gray.
Day after day, I'm more confused. Yet I look for the light through the pouring rain. You know that's a game that I hate to lose. And I'm feeling the strain. Ain't it a shame? Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Beginning to think that I'm wasting time. I don't understand the things I do. The world outside looks so unkind. Now I'm counting on you to carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Yeah, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in Thanks for the joy that you've given me. I want you to know I believe in your song, in rhythm and rhyme and harmony. You've helped me along, making me strong. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
The big 1400 WJZM radio, 52 degrees, expecting a high today of around 58, maybe a pop-up shower later on this afternoon. Men's Fitness Magazine decided to take a survey to correct a list of the 10 fittest movies of all time.
The 10 fittest.
Yeah. You know, they say that the male form doesn't get enough attention on the silver screen, and that's a shame. So they decided to correct that with the list of the 10 fittest movies of all times.
Fittest.
Number 10, from 1958, what do you think the movie was?
58?
Yeah.
Ben-Hur.
Hercules. Hercules.
Oh, yeah.
The Steve Reeves Hercules.
Steve Reeves.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. He was great as him.
Yeah, I watched one of those not too long ago.
Did you?
Yeah. In its original form.
Oh.
You know.
Did they have subtitles?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because they were dubbed when they got here.
Oh, yeah, from Italy.
Yeah.
At number 9, Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Number 8, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh.
Number 8, Bloodsport. The Rocky movies at number 7. Yeah. Pumping Iron, which was a documentary that Arnold made.
That'll be
Any Given Sunday, number 5. Remember, they had the football movie with the Terrell Owen, Warren Moon, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Number 4, the Rambo movies. You know, Sly Stone showing them off. You know, he walk around showing off those.
Because he was 4'11" too, and with abs of steel, but
okay,
I'm short.
Tell him that to his face, okay? Next
What's he gonna do? Is he gonna whoop me?
All right.
I'll just step on him and squash him.
Number 3, I thought that this would be a 300. Gerard Butler and his co-stars. They train for 3 months and then complete that 300. You know,
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen 300?
No.
Yeah, it was CGI. Some of it was CGI enhanced.
And that stuff does not excite me.
Yeah, and you know how it was about the Peloponnesian War, and how the Spartans, held off the Persians.
It was actually, it had history to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It was just based on the history.
Yeah.
And the clothing that they wore, or sans the clothing that they wore back in those days. So, yeah.
What little clothing they wore?
Yeah. Anyway, number 2.
Yeah.
Fight Club. Brad Pitt was in there. And number 1, Raging Bull.
Oh,
that's
one of my favorites.
Yeah, Robert De Niro, of course. And so that was fitness, according to Fitness Magazine.
I have that on CED.
Subtitles?
No.
Oh, it doesn't?
Capacitance
really?
Electronic disc.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, time now for the Ball Network Notebook with Bob's Kessling, brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400.
Tennessee is hoping to have quarterback Jared Garantano back for the Missouri game. This is the Ball Network Notebook, brought to you by your local Farmers Co-op. Co-op, proudly farming Big Orange Country. Tennessee will watch quarterback Jared Garantano very closely in practice this week to see if he's healthy enough to play Saturday at Missouri. Garantano injured his ankle in the first half of Saturday's win against Southern Miss. He was held out of the second half. Coach Butch Jones said he's encouraged about Garantano's condition.
It's seeing exactly where he's at from a health standpoint and, you know, what quarterback gives us the best opportunity to win. But I was really encouraged today with Jared's progress.
Backup quarterback Will McBride guided Tennessee to the win over Southern Miss in the second half. Coach Jones said the moment wasn't too big for the true freshman from Texas.
Yeah, Will has a unique personality in and of itself. He does not get rattled. He has very good poise, very good command presence. Our players believe in him. They get excited when he's in the football game. And we've seen that throughout the course of this entire season. He can make the throws.
Another true freshman, Seth Washington, will be the backup to McBride this week in practice. Tennessee and Missouri play Saturday night in Columbia. Kickoff time 6:30 Central. On football Saturdays at Neyland Stadium, folks from all over the Volunteer State gather to form a community of enthusiastic Big Orange fans. Like the team on the field, they give their all to cheer on the Vols to victory. At your local farmer-owned co-op, they also know the importance of community support. It's kept them providing expert advice, friendly service, and quality products in towns across Tennessee for more than 70 years. They give their all to help these hard-working champions of agriculture. Co-op, proudly farming Big Orange Country. Lady Vol basketball team tips off the season with an exhibition game Tuesday night against Carson Newman at Thompson Bowling Arena. Game time is 7 p.m. And the Tennessee Volunteers open the regular season Friday night at the arena against Presbyterian. Reporting for the Vol Network, I'm Bob Kessler.
Copies in a Flash is your one-stop copy design and print supercenter. If you're looking for letterheads, carbonless forms, envelopes, address labels, or anything to do with print, your local Copies in a Flash can handle it all in a flash. Stop in and see Copies in a Flash at 1841 Business Park Drive in Clarksville and see how they can help you on your next project. Copies in a Flash offers free delivery. Visit Copies in a Flash and see all of their offerings at copiesinaflash.com. That's copiesinaflash.com. Copies in a Flash is proud to support our community and say go Big Orange.
1400 WJZM Radio. Chuck Edwards, John Michaels. It is the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville. Right now we're at 52 degrees, expecting a high of around 58. Overnight low 44 in downtown Clarksville. The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, 8 o'clock, 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville. We'll take an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in national news.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
This news flash brought to you by Heritage Bank. We are open for business. Your business. Bankwithheritage.com.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. He says tougher gun laws would not have stopped the Texas church shootings. In fact, President Trump says that such laws would likely have resulted in more deaths. That's because Mr. Trump says tougher laws would have deprived a local man of the gun he used to shoot the attacker and end the massacre. The gunman, Devin Kelly, wasn't supposed to be able to buy weapons because of a history of domestic violence, but a mistake by the Air Force apparently allowed Kelly to slip through the cracks. President Trump now in South Korea, the second stop on his visit to Asia, and the North Korean nuclear standoff is getting a lot of attention.
I believe it makes sense for North Korea to do the right thing, not only for North Korea, but for humanity all over the world.
The president and his South Korean counterpart urged Pyongyang to come to the table to negotiate a solution to the nuclear standoff. Also at SRNnews.com, Virginia and New Jersey voters are selecting new governors today.
Democrats in both states have tried to tie their opponents to the president and are eager to prove they can harness anti-Trump energy into success at the polls. Republicans are looking to show they have a winning blueprint in blue-leaning states. Trump lost both Virginia and New Jersey in last year's presidential race and has not campaigned in either contest. Today's results could impact how both parties run campaigns in next year's midterm election when control of Congress and numerous state houses are up for grabs. I'm Julie Walker.
Florida State is suspending fraternities and sororities following the alcohol-fueled death of a freshman pledge. In the NFL, the Lions defeated the Packers 30-17 at Green Bay. On Wall Street, Dow futures are up 14 points. NASDAQ futures down 5. This is SRN News. In the aftermath of the mass shooting in Texas, Congressman Mark Walker of North Carolina says churches are often on the front lines of dealing with emotionally unstable people.
A lot of these folks are attracted to the church because they have been rejected in every other aspect of society, many times even in their own families. And it's good to have people who are trained, not just seminary trained, but have professional degrees to be able to deal with some of the things that we are seeing now.
Walker, also an ordained Southern Baptist pastor, tells the Salem Radio Network that most churches don't have the resources for more security. A major rally is scheduled to take place in suburban Denver tomorrow for an embattled Christian baker. Centennial Institute and Alliance Defending Freedom are sponsoring the event in support of Jack Phillips. He was sued for refusing to make a cake for a same-sex wedding. This case goes before the Supreme Court in December. This is SRN News. Well, going out for a stroll or a bike ride can be more dangerous this time of year.
Shorter daylight hours in fall and winter typically lead to an increase in crashes involving pedestrians, and there have been some fatalities. Those deaths have prompted representatives from the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia to start a new Street Smart safety awareness campaign. Police departments are stepping up efforts to enforce traffic laws protecting pedestrians and bicyclists. Fines for violations, such as failing to stop for pedestrians in crosswalks and jaywalking, can be as much as $500. Keith Peters, Washington.
Pennsylvania hoping visitors will pursue happiness in the Keystone State. New welcome signs bearing the slogan, Pennsylvania, pursue your happiness, are going up on the state's interstates and major highways. They'll be replacing signs that have been around since 1997. More details at SRNnews.com.
Loans. Heritage Bank. Those are the only 3 words you need to know if you need a car or boat or RV or storage building or pool or new garage or lawnmower or 4-wheeler or vacation. Or, well, you get the picture, right? Picture yourself with a loan from Heritage Bank and that special something that you've been wanting. Call or stop by your local Heritage Bank office today. Loans from Heritage Bank.
NMLS number 431499. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Bankwithheritage.com.
WJZM.com.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather. There's some fog this morning. It should burn off, and we should have partly cloudy sky, maybe even a stray shower today. I expect a high of 58, cloudy, 44 for an overnight low. For Wednesday, mostly cloudy, cooler, 54 for an overnight low, 36 for a low, 54 for an expected high on Wednesday. And Thursday, plenty of sunshine. Will be up near 60 degrees for an expected high on Thursday. Currently, we're at 52 degrees in downtown Clarksville. With a look at traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Traffic around the city and the county is moving along this Tuesday morning. Not bad at the moment. It is slow, though. Looks like 41A out at Fort Campbell slow, especially out on the north side. Tylertown Road, Trenton Road, Tinytown Road, all slow at the moment. 41A, same goes slow with all the construction in that area. Looks like 48 and 13 if you're coming into the city from the county. Not bad, but it is still slow out by Montgomery Central. 79 St. Bethlehem, not too bad at the moment. Rossview Road is very slow, especially out by the interstate, and the MLK 76 Connector Parkway looking good at the moment. Now, if you are headed to Nashville, 24 looks good all the way into the Music City. Let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what lies ahead when you get there.
Well, good morning. Still a problem out here in a lot of the flood-prone areas that were definitely put to the test this morning. A wreck 1000 block at Antioch Pike. Still slow go as they finish up the paperwork on this wreck here 40 West at Stewartsbury Pike as you come through Hermitage right now from Wilson County. It's more rubbernecking than anything. Traffic's just really busy out here. You're going to have to give yourself extra time. Prince's Hot Chicken is the best and original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. For lunch or dinner, try their location 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
That's been a look at your traffic and weather together and the latest national news this morning, all brought to you by Heritage Bank here on the Big 1400 WJZM. It is 8:08, and that means it's time for hour number 2 of Good Morning Clarksville. Good morning, Chuck Edwards.
Good morning, John Michaels. Good morning, Mayor McMillan.
Good morning.
It is Tuesday with the mayor, Mayor Kim McMillan. City of Clarksville is in the studio, and we're going to talk with her. We got a lot to talk about this morning.
We do.
As we get busy.
You do.
With the Tuesday
I
with
do.
the mayor.
You do.
Yeah. Well, you can chime in.
I've got to move my microphone around.
You're going to have to move your microphone.
Yeah, so I can get the cameras in.
Okay. All right. That's
Listen,
fine.
I want John Michaels to participate in this.
That's right. We want him to be a part of it. That's right. The Big 1400 with the Four Tops on WJZM Radio. 1400 WJZM Radio. What's wrong with the temperature? We're going backwards. It's now 51 degrees, expecting a high of 58. Maybe a stray shower, some fog this morning as we get started. Overnight low of 44. And for Tuesday, expect a high of around 54 degrees. 51 degrees right now. We still got a Vol Network, not the Vol Network notebook, Sports Now update brought to you by Fox's with Justin Swallows coming up at 8:20. But this is Tuesday with the mayor, and we welcome Mayor Kim McMillan to the studios again. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing? So you've been busy. You've been traveling around.
I have been busy.
Yeah.
I have been busy. Spent the weekend traveling.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to a conference, but I felt like I spent most of the time on the plane. But, you know, that sometimes happens when
that does happen.
You have to travel.
Yeah, it's that feeling. But congratulations. You were telling me that this is Women in Leadership.
Correct.
And you are one of the women in leadership that were chosen for this, so congratulations.
Correct. It's a wonderful program. I was so appreciative and honored to be selected as one of 25 women across the nation who were invited to attend a year-long program for women in leadership where we can gather together, we can hear from wonderful speakers, we can get information on how we can continue to work together, form a network of the women that are in leadership positions, because, you know, there are few of us, so it's not like there's a whole lot of us.
Y'all are gaining. You're gaining. You're seeing women more and more in a lot of jobs that used to be specifically for men.
But what we like to say, and I've always said as a woman that, you know, I don't want people to vote for me just because I'm a woman. I want people to vote for me or support me because I'm the best person for the job, because I can get the job done, because I have the tools that are needed in order to get things accomplished. And that's why I think women, you know, want to be in leadership roles. And so it's fewer and fewer of us, but it's increasing. So our numbers are rising. We now have in this particular group, this is the class of 2018, but this program started a couple of years ago, and now there are 100 women who have come together as part of this year-long class. And I always want to say that the event and all of the expenses have been fully paid for by governing magazine, so it hadn't been something that the taxpayers are having to foot the bill.
So what do? You go out for, you go out for 2 or 3 days to listen to speakers and workshops and things like that?
Exactly, and work together and talk to other women in leadership positions in other parts of the country and in other jobs. I mean, there are mayors, state representatives, state senators, elected district attorneys. There are other appointed positions, county commissioners. So it's interesting to see how different styles of leadership from women in different parts of the country, but we all have one goal, and that's we want to help our constituents wherever they may be, and we want to find the best ways to do that, and we're always willing to adapt and look at different scenarios and look at different methods of leadership and guiding people forward. So it has been extremely helpful. I mean, the last 2 days, now they do it on a weekend because they know all of us as leaders in our communities, we're busy, and so we can't really go during the week. So it is just a weekend session, and there'll be 2 more throughout the course of the next year, and then we'll graduate, and hopefully I'll have a little more and be a better leader and have more tools in the toolbox to help me as I move forward.
City Mayor Kim McMillan's our guest. This is Tuesday with the Mayor. So basically, I guess if we were trying to relate this is a graduated leadership Clarksville or graduated leadership Middle Tennessee. Okay.
It's similar, and you know, I am a graduate of Leadership Clarksville. And, you know, I was in the inaugural class of Leadership Middle Tennessee. Jack Turner and I actually were part of the very first class of Leadership Middle Tennessee. And then I also I'm a graduate of Leadership Tennessee, which is another leadership program that brings leaders together from all across the state. And I was in the inaugural class of that particular leadership program. So I think you can gain so much, and you have nothing to lose by listening to others give you different ways and different methods by which you can help the people that you represent. So I am game for all of these programs. I'm always willing to learn new things and listen to other ideas and other ways to make our communities better.
Yep, the Mayor Kim McMillan's our guest. And you know, before we go to Sports Now Update, Mayor, I just wanted to say, going to this leadership, being a part of this leadership conference or leadership class, there are a lot of differences. You said women from all over America. Exactly. There are a lot of differences. There's diversity, and a lot of them are in different capacities of leadership. But there are some common denominators that all of you have besides gender. That don't you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I find that as we're all there together, a common theme of all of the women that we've seen is really, I think, a higher level of compassion. And that's not to say that men aren't compassionate, but I think that the women that are there, the majority of them are mothers and really feel like we can connect maybe on a different level and really try to do that.
Mayor Kim McMillan's our guest. One question that I have to ask you, how do you go through each and every day knowing that you are scrutinized by, so many things? I mean, and a lot of them I particularly think are trivial. A lot of them I think are, what difference does it make? But you're scrutinized each and every day, from what you wear probably to what you drive. How do you go through that?
That's
tough skin.
Yes, but that's an interesting question, and I get it a lot. I've been doing this for a long time. I was first elected to public office in 1994, and people said, why in the world would you want to do that? And I've always looked at whatever role I was in, whether it was as a state representative or as mayor or as the senior advisor to the governor and the governor's cabinet, as a position where my focus is on the end result. My focus is on the people. So, that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. That's kind of I think what you have to adopt when you're in this role. You have to be more focused on getting to the end result, achieving something for the people that you represent, and not worrying about what people are saying about you. So that's what I've done. I mean, I've had things said about me, to me, that probably
written
are not
about you.
That's right, that are not appropriate. Yeah. But but I just address it in a way that it's nice when people say something about my hairstyle. I say, well, do you like it? I'll tell you who does it. I'll be happy to give you the number of my hairstystylist. Or if people ask you about your clothes, you do that. I always just try to address it with, an attitude of I'm not going to take offense to it. I'm going to try to help get through it, because ultimately, if I can help even one person in my community through my role as an elected official, then that's what's important.
Mayor Kim McMillan's our guest. It is Tuesday with the mayor. We'll talk more about the athletic complex, the United Way. Plus, they're having a regional transit town hall meeting coming up, and we'll talk more about that. We need to take a break, though. It's time now for Sports Now update, brought to you by Fox's Barbecue. Justin Swallows on the Big 1400.
This Sports Now update is presented by Fox's Barbecue. They're serving slow-smoked premium meats at 521 Heritage Point Drive.
Former University of Tennessee tailback Alvin Kamara is off to a red-hot start in his professional career. Kamara, who mostly played a relief role at UT through only 8 games in the NFL, is having one of the best rookie seasons in New Orleans Saints history. With 89 total touches and 652 all-purpose yards, he is, at this point in his career, having the third-best inaugural campaign in franchise history, behind only George Rogers, who had 933 all-purpose yards at this point in 1981, and Ricky Williams, who had amassed 675 yards at this point back in 1999. Now over to Austin Peay State University, where their women's volleyball team captured an Ohio Valley Conference regular season title last week and currently boasts an incredible 26-4 overall record. Today, Govs Volleyball has extra reason to celebrate after finding out last night they have landed 3 players on the league's weekly list of top performers. Senior Ashley Slay is the reigning OVC Offensive Player of the Week after recording 35 kills throughout her last 3 outings. Junior Kristen Stucker is for the 9th time in 11 weeks the OVC's top setter, racking up 110 total assists. And for the 2nd time this season, freshman Brooke Moore was honored as the league's newcomer of the week after posting 12 kills through the Governor's last 3 victories. Lastly, today we take you to Knoxville, where the University of Tennessee Lady Vols basketball squad will open up their season in exhibition play tonight against Carson Newman. As they do so, they'll do it with a new Lady Vol legend on the bench. Bridget Gordon played on Pat Summitt's first 2 national title teams in 1997 and 1989, and she has now returned as the Lady Vols' newest assistant coach. From the WJZM Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
Voted the #1 veteran-owned barbecue restaurant in America, Fox's Barbecue is proud to serve the greater Clarksville community. They host the weekly Blues and Barbecue concert every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Whether you're hungry for chicken, ribs, pulled pork, or brisket, Fox's Barbecue is the right choice. They offer all-you-can-eat selections every Wednesday and Thursday night, as well as catering and delivery. Call them to cater your next event at 931-896-2678. Or better yet, go see them at 521 Heritage Point Drive, just off from Tiny Town Road.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, where a Sports Now update comes your way at 9:20 this morning. Brought to you by Culver's of Clarksville, home of the Butter Buns. It is Tuesday with the mayor. We're talking with Mayor Kim McMillan. Boy, a lot on the plate today. First of all, the athletic complex. I want to say congratulations. Is that appropriate to say congratulations that you got the vote of approval?
Well, I think so. What I hope is, I mean, we still got a long way to go. It's not anywhere near completion, but at least the first big hurdle has been accomplished, and that is we were able to achieve the funding that we need to actually move forward to buy the property, and that's the first and the biggest step, I believe, in making this dream a reality. And it's not just a dream for me, it's really a dream for the community. I mean, I have heard from so many people, I can't tell you the number of people that say to me, when are we going to have an athletic complex? When are we going to have more soccer fields? When are we going to have lacrosse fields? When are we going to have more baseball fields? When are we going to get a baseball team or a baseball stadium? Or when are we going to have an ice hockey arena? When are we going to have those things? And now I'm able to say we're one step closer to making that a reality.
But we don't really need 2 ice rinks, do we? I mean, the Clarksville Commons has one.
That's not an ice rink. I mean, like a rink. I mean,
it's not an ice skating rink?
Well, I mean, it's not a rink like a competition rink where you could go and have you can't play hockey on that.
Oh, okay. I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the one downtown is really one like you see in the movies where they're walking around holding hands with gloves on and they're skating.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about it because I haven't. I mean, the city's not a part of that project, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. But I know it's not something. It's not an indoor. It's not a facility where you could come and play ice hockey. I know.
So are you saying this will be indoors?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking
the one you're talking about.
Absolutely. That's what the Predators have indicated that they would like to have. I mean, they have them now in. You know, you've got Bridgestone, which is their main home. That's where they play their games. But they now have different ice rinks, you know, or ice-type facilities in different parts of Nashville. They have one in Bellevue. Franklin is getting one now. And in other communities, in other parts of Nashville, there's several in Nashville, where they build the rink, and then the Predators come in and actually manage so that it can be, you can use it for teams. You can use it for teaching. You can use it for just skating, just in general. But they're all indoors, like the one is at Bridgestone Arena.
Okay, so we got the funding to buy the property for the athletic complex.
Correct.
Let's just call it athletic, and it will be multi-athletic facility.
Exactly. That's why we're calling it an athletic complex, because it is a multi-use facility, which means you can have multiple different sports, multiple different facilities in it. It'll also be a recreational opportunity, because the way that this layout is situated, and there's so many acres, over 400, we'll be able to have walking trails.
That's a big complex.
And you'll be able to have walking trails. And because it actually has river access, we can actually have a blueway access. So we're talking about a real multi-use facility that can serve our constituents in Clarksville and the constituents in our entire region for many different types of activities.
Okay, first thing, we've got the money to buy the land.
Correct.
Step one.
Correct.
Now what? Step two is?
Well, you got to buy the land. Then you got to work on.
We got to buy we buy the land.
We have to buy the land.
How soon do you think that will take place?
Well, we had hoped that we would be able to actually close on the necessary land by the end of the year. That's kind of our goal as we're moving forward. That's why we did the way we did it. Instead of waiting until next year to have a bond issuance to actually do it, that's why we had this vote that we had, because it allows us to go ahead and get the money now on a short-term basis so that we can close on the properties before the end of the year.
Okay, so we do plan on doing that.
That's right. Then we continue to work with our consultants that we already have on board. We've had them on board for a long time, not all of them, but most of them, as we've continued to move forward. I mean, they have already had multiple public hearings throughout our entire community about what people would like to see, what is most important to them. We've had potential drawings done of what conceivably this type of facility could encompass and look like, how many fields, whether, how many championship fields versus practice fields that you'd have. Now that we have gotten another group involved, who has come in, they are a organization that actually brings both minor league baseball and minor league soccer and other types of sporting events. And so they're coming in now to say, we want to get engaged to possibly bring a baseball stadium that could serve as a multi-purpose stadium, but also could house some type of minor league, AAA, AA, farm team that could be here, that would be part of Clarksville's community.
Yeah. How do you get all of these firms on the same page?
Well, that's why I go to these leadership programs, because you really learn some tactics. But no, what I believe is you got to get everybody involved. And this is what we do. We'll have meetings where we'll get everybody all in the same room. And, my goal and my philosophy is you've got to explain to everybody what the ultimate objective is and how we want to do these types of things, and then we just let everybody play their role and all work together. And, it has worked well in every kind of endeavor that I've been involved in, and so I see it happening in this particular endeavor, too, as we involve all of the different parties, because everybody has a role to play. It's just like running a city. When I run the city, I have so many department heads. I don't know the best way to run a police department. I don't know the best way to run a fire department. I don't know the best way to run a building and codes department or a finance department. That's why I have department heads, and that's their specialty. And I go out and I pick who I believe to be the best individual to run that particular department. And then they help educate me on their vision and the best way to do it. And then I kind of serve as somebody who brings everybody together, and I feel like I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I mean, I kind of have to know a little bit about everything, but I rely on my experts in my departments to help me make sure that that department is the best it can be.
What are we looking at, a timeline for saying, oh, this is the finished product that we've come up with, and we need to move forward with that?
Well, what we anticipate doing now, now that we have the approval on the money to go ahead and start the process of getting the land, we're going to start our meetings together with all of the different consultant groups so that we can start that process of getting in place, different options and different things that we can do. When you do a big project like this, you also have to think about the money it takes. When you're a government, money's not unlimited, and so...
It doesn't grow on those money trees?
It doesn't. So, and I'm always mindful in everything I do that the money that I spend on any project is not my money. It's your money. And, it's the citizens, it's the taxpayers' money. And so you have to be so careful to balance your wants with your needs and what you can do with the available sources of funds. So a lot of times when you bring everybody together, you say, oh, this would be great. Wouldn't this be wonderful if we had this? Oh, but we can't afford it. So sometimes you have to start phasing things in. You have to start looking at, well, let's do this now because we can afford this now. And then we'll put this off to the side and say, if we're able to get some additional money, or the people say, we want this so much, we'll pay more to get this. We'll pay more taxes in order to get that. But those are things that you have to leave up to the people to decide, and that's what I always try to do.
So you're not saying that the athletic complex is not going to be built. You're just saying that we have to do it right.
Exactly. Every project you have to do right. Governor McWhorter, God rest his soul, one of the best governors we ever had of this state, was one of my mentors. And he told me when I first got involved in running for office, he said, Kim, there's one way that you can be successful as a public official. And I said, well, what is it, Governor McWhorter? And he said to me, you have to plan your work and then work your plan. And that's what I've remembered, and I have tried to do that in everything I've done, plan my work. So planning your work is the most important thing initially. Then you got to work your plan.
Yeah. Mayor Kim McMillan's our guest. It is Tuesday with the mayor. We're going to talk about the Regional Transit Town Hall meeting coming up this Thursday. We need to take a break, though. We'll be right back.
Ever lost or misplaced your debit card?
Now, before that happens, download the Card Valet mobile app.
With it, you can turn your F&M debit card on and off, establish when, where, and how it is used, and much more.
And best of all, it's free from F&M Bank.
Member FDIC.
Cooking for large groups is exhausting, and it saps the fun out of hosting parties and events. Let your friends at the Lunchbox do the cooking next time with carry-out catering for small family gatherings up to large company outings. Whether you want barbecue and sides, hot dogs and chips, or homemade chili, the Lunchbox has the food for your next party covered. Call them today at 931-802-8227. Or better yet, go sample their extensive menu at 2124 Woodlawn Road. Fresh ingredients become delicious homemade meals at the Lunchbox, Clarksville's new favorite eatery. The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
Why settle for less when you can get more at Wyatt Johnson in Clarksville, your winning team in Kentucky and Tennessee. Score and win with Wyatt Johnson GMC Buick, Toyota, Hyundai, Mazda, and Subaru, as well as 3 pre-owned superstores for more selection in minutes versus days, shopping place to place. We are the region's largest GMC Buick dealer, the area's newest Toyota dealer, and home of the Hyundai, Mazda, and Subaru giant. You always get more at your winning team in Kentucky and Tennessee, the Wyatt Johnson Automotive family in Clarksville.
In your time of loss, you need to know someone cares. Since 1916, Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home has been serving the Clarksville area with the kindness and respect you deserve. It's their goal to provide quality, compassionate services to you and your family during this very difficult time. Mike Parchman and his staff genuinely care and provide prearranged plans that accept insurance to help ease your pain in your time of grief. Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home. People who care. A name you can trust. Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home, Madison Street in Clarksville. For real estate services, Byers & Harvey can do it all. Real estate sales, rentals,
property management, commercial and residential development. Byers & Harvey is Clarksville's oldest independent real estate company and has given continuous service since 1878. Byers & Harvey have 3 locations to serve you in North Clarksville, in the heart of downtown, and at Sango. For more information and listings, visit them online at byersandharvey.com. byersandharvey.com. Byers & Harvey, Clarksville's real estate company. Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you saved money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit MSC Insurance in Clarksville, Tennessee today.
Hi, this is Jamie Shack, partner with MSC Insurance. Visit us online today at mscinsurance.com. Serving Clarksville since 1946.
Clarksville Online is where you'll find the latest in Clarksville area news, weather, sports, and current events. Depend on Clarksville Online for crime reports and special events, Fort Campbell news and current events, and the latest financial news. Want sports? Then visit ClarksvilleSportsNetwork.com. Movie listings and weather bulletins? Go to DiscoverClarksville.com. And for all you bikers, visit ClarksvilleMotorcycle.com. You'll find everything you need on the Clarksville Online Digital Network. Clarksville Online. We are Clarksville.
The Vic 1400 WJZM radio. 51 degrees. Expect a high today of 58. Maybe a stray shower. Cloudy tonight, 44 for an overnight low. A lot cooler on Wednesday with a high of only 54 degrees, and Wednesday night down to around 36. You believe that? It's cool. The temperature, fall temperature is here, y'all. That's right. 51 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Is Tuesday with the mayor on the Big 1400. We're talking with Mayor Kim McMillan. So the regional transit town hall meeting is coming up Thursday.
And it's being billed as a summit, a town, really what it is a transit summit. Because as you know, what has happened, the RTA and a number of other transit-related groups, Cumberland Region tomorrow that is working in this area. You've got the Transit Authority that's also working. And as you know, the RTA, which is that Middle Tennessee Regional Transit Authority, I'm the current chairman of that, so I've worked real hard with them. We're going around to all of the different communities within this Regional Transit Authority jurisdiction in Middle Tennessee, the 10-county area, and talking to them about transit plans. Because we all know that in order to relieve our communities from this congestion problem that we have, we've got to work in a regional fashion. We've got to cooperate with each other to make sure that we deal in that area. And so we've got to make sure that the people understand what the plans are. I mean, for example, we all heard about, I guess it was about a year ago when we came out and the RTA came out and kind of, in motion had a plan where they came out and said $6 billion it's going to take.
With a B.
That's
billion.
Right. And people said, are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Well, people need to understand what all that involves and how you're talking about accessing that amount of money and what you will get for that money. So if you have different types of referendums, Nashville, is getting ready to have a referendum, a separate referendum on transit. Will
that be next year on the ballot?
That's correct. It'll be next year on the ballot. And, we need to make sure that all of the communities are educated. So if they have a transit referendum, that they understand what they would be voting for and what the money that is raised would go to do. What would they see as results? For example, in our particular quarter, one of the things is the possibility of a commuter train line that would run from Clarksville to Nashville. That is so important, I think, to help solve a lot of this problem, because you can't build your way out of problems. You can't just continue to add lanes onto the interstate if you're having problems, but having other alternative methods that you have to get from one place to another, I think, are important. We have a very popular and effective commuter bus line that runs now from Clarksville to Nashville, but adding a commuter rail line to that, I think, is just imperative and so important. And the planning's already underway, and we just want to make sure that people understand what that's about.
So the referendum that's going to be held in Nashville that Mayor Megan Barry wants on the ballot next year does affect Clarksville in a way.
Well, in some ways it does, because all of the communities work together. Now, what will happen is, right now, the referendum is going to really just affect in Nashville and Davidson County. That's where it's going to be. But it can set the stage for what could happen if we start having a referendum where we could join up with Davidson County to have the rail line. As you know, there is an existing rail line, but it's not all the way finished. It used to be. We used to have a freight line that ran all the way from Clarksville to Nashville. Now it's only from Ashland City to Nashville, and the portion between Ashland City and Clarksville has become in disrepair, and a lot of the right-of-way has gone back.
And they took up some of the tracks.
Exactly. Yeah. So we need to think about getting that property back into our hands and being able to get the additional tracks to make it work again.
Yeah, but somebody mentioned something at church about annexation. Mm-hmm. Is that something that's on the back burner for Clarksville, Montgomery County? For Clarksville?
Well, here's the thing. Annexation is always possible. As you know, Clarksville has grown over the years, and it's been because of annexation. Since we're the only incorporated city in the entire county, the only way that the city can grow is through annexation or consolidation, which is different than annexation. So right now, annexation has, because the legislature has passed some legislation that makes it more difficult for cities to annex additional property. I'm not sure exactly when we'll see all that, and other issues. So right now we're dealing with Clarksville where it is, but that's not going to stop us, because the city limits of Clarksville right now goes all the way to exit 11. So we're going all the way to the edge of where we would need to be able to have that rail line. So
Mayor Kim McMillan's our guest. So Thursday, the summit, the transit summit.
Correct.
Thursday morning, F&M Bank.
Thursday
starts at
morning.
7:30.
That's right. 7:30 is the summit. And if you're interested in coming and you haven't already contacted them to get your tickets, you need to contact and I'm trying to find the number here so that I can tell you.
Well, just give them your cell number. They'll call you.
That's right. Well, actually, if you're interested, you can call the mayor's office at 645-7444, and we'll be happy to relay you to the appropriate person to call and make the reservations that you would need to attend the Transit Summit, where I think all of these questions hopefully will be answered.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Good seeing you.
Good to see you, too. This is great. I love Tuesdays with the mayor.
We love Tuesdays with the mayor. Thank you, Mayor Kim McMillan. See you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, or leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took but you don't know what you've got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.
Big 1400 WJZM Radio, Chuck and John on the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville. Don't forget, we got Lady Vols basketball tonight on the radio. Lady Vols will take on Carson Newman. Airtime 5:30, tip-off at 6 p.m. The Lady Vols back on the radio.
I'm glad you let me know. I would have missed it.
You would have missed the Lady Vols taking on Carson Newman. All things food. It's good to see a company that knows what customers want instead of having a caramel flavored Pepsi or whatever it was.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Now this is a little more.
That stuff's over. Let's get to
this is what I'm about to share with you.
Shake
is a little more in the norm. Okay,
like Fritos and hot sauce.
Fringe. That's fringe. That is not the norm. That is not,
You mean I'm the only person in the country? I'm interrupting. I'm the only person in the country you've ever heard of that eats Fritos with hot sauce on it.
I'm not. You're not the only. You're the only person I know of, but I would not think that would be that peculiar because I know a number of people that eat hot sauce on their pork skins.
Yeah,
pork
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in that category.
I am.
You're in that category. Give him his meds. So anyway. But the people at Hidden Valley Ranch salad dressings know that one little bottle of ranch isn't enough to meet your daily ranch needs. But this might be. Listen to how ingenious they are.
Okay.
They started selling kegs of ranch dressing. Well, I mean, technically, there are many kegs. But still, kegs of ranch dressing.
Keg of ranch, please.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, well, no, they're about 10 inches tall. They're about 10 inches tall, and they keep the dressing insulated and fresh. And the company says that each one contains, a year's supply of ranch dressing. Only costs $50, and you can go online and get them at flavorgallery.com.
Boy, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Are you a ranch dressing person?
Not really.
Well, some people who, especially with the holidays coming up.
I'm a blue cheese type of guy.
I wonder if they might have, it seems like blue cheese can't be too far behind. If they if they got ranch now.
Does it have a spigot on it, I wonder? Or,
yeah, it probably has.
What if it gets a chunk of cheese hung in it, and then you're like...
Yeah, maybe blue cheese might be a little more difficult than ranch.
Then it's over.
But I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Kegs of ranch dressing.
Sounds good to me.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio with Johnny Rivers.
Summer rain taps at my window, west wind soft as a sweet dream. My love warm as the sunshine, sitting here by me. She's here by me. She stepped out of the rainbow, golden hair shining like moonglow, warm lips soft as a soul, sitting here by me, yeah. She's here by me. All summer long we spent dancing in the sand, and the jukebox kept on playing Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We sailed into the sunset, drifted home caught by a Gulf Stream. Never gave a thought for tomorrow, just let tomorrow be now. Let tomorrow be.
morning. We're back on the Big 1400 WJZM. It is the Tuesday edition of Good Morning Clarksville here on the Big 1400. That was a good visit with the mayor this morning.
It was. I always like talking with Mayor Kim McMillan and County Mayor Jim Durr.
That's true.
Don't forget, tomorrow is Governor Wednesday on the Big 1400, and we are expecting Colonel Montgomery. I think Bill Persinger said the Colonel Montgomery was the ROTC adjutant.
Hope he doesn't say drop down and do 10. Because all I can do is drop down and maybe count to 10, but I couldn't do 10
if I drop down,
I get back up.
I'm not getting back up. But they'll be here on Governor Wednesday tomorrow
it's terrible
on the Big
to get old,
1400. Yeah. Time now for some good news.
Oh, I need it.
There's a 17-year-old girl named Trina Burnett. She lives in Sandy, Utah, and she's autistic. She tried to go trick-or-treating with her siblings on Tuesday, but according to her dad, several people yelled at her for being too old, and they slammed the door on her. And 17 would normally be too old for trick-or-treating.
Yeah, but you got to make exceptions.
Obviously, this was a different situation. So Trina wound up cutting her night short. She ran home crying. Now, one of Trina's sisters posted about what had happened on Facebook, and the community decided to try to make things right. A bunch of people kept their Halloween decorations up, and on Saturday night, they held Halloween again so Trina could have a better experience trick-or-treating.
Oh, that's nice.
And this time, it went way better for her. She got lots of candy.
Lots of candy.
And she said, quote, it feels very heartwarming to see that people care so much.
Oh,
would you like a Snickers?
That's nice.
Or would you like a Milky Way? Or would you like one of my Baby Ruths?
I'm not trading you any of my candy.
Anyway.
You're still trying to get me to trade candy is what I see what you're sneaking in. You went from good news to trying to get me to trade candy bars again.
I'm not trying to get you. I know where you are. I know where you are.
You know where? Yeah.
I know where you are when it comes to candy, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore. You don't want to. He doesn't want to share. That's all right. I'll get my own candy.
Give me 2 Tootsie Pops.
I will get my own candy.
Nobody wants
and I'll
Tootsie
probably
Pops.
go out and get me one of those Pepsis that taste like butterscotch.
Have it.
The Big 1400. Thank you for sharing this part of your Tuesday with us. John and I always like being with you. We'll look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Till then, be well.
And the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world